to get to a point where you determine that I'm stepping out of this. I don't want this anymore. In that case, there's certain day you call your job. I'm calling out today. You lock yourself in your room, you and your husband. Say, we are coming out of debt. Hey! And you lock the door. Say, Lord, if you don't bless us, we are not going to open this door. Either you take my life or you bless me. The Bible says, and Jacob said, you better bless me. And he just said, the day is almost break. Say, did they break? Day will break and broke.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Another night will come.
Yes.
You are not living until what?
Until you bless me.
There was a what? Dislocation. We have just started. The only way you can leave this place is either you bless me or you kill me.
Yes.
Have you gotten to that place when you are tired of poverty, when you are tired of barrenness, when you are tired of failure, when you are tired of sickness, and you lock yourself in your room and say, Daddy, today is today.
Amen.
Me and you,
Yes.
I'm coming home.
Yes.
God doesn't want you to come in yet,
Yes.
because He has a purpose for you.
Yes.
God will say, now you know who you are. You are not coming home. Okay, take it, son.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
Determine what? The time of the service, you are sleeping, watching basketball. Oh, the grace of God. If you are working, that's a different thing. The church of God call for fasting and prayer. But 6 o'clock, chocolate. I'm sorry to tell you, but that's the truth.
Yes.
Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
6 o'clock, tea, coffee, Dunkin' Donut. You know, they are what? Millionaire. And you are using your money. And God is saying today, don't drink Dunkin' Donut, so that you can become like Dunkin' Donut sharer. I said, no, I still have to go there and drink Dunkin' Donut. Remember Dunkin' Donut? And Dunkin' Donut is happy.
Yes.
Hello, church.
Yes, sir.
Determine what?
Determination.
What do you determine to do differently? The service of God is here.
Yes.
God has given you gift. God has given you brain. You are a man that you can put things together. You know how to organize evangelism. But you just sit down, you just put your hands here. It's not my ministry, it's not my calling. And you're wanting a new thing. No, you got to start doing something different.
Hallelujah.
Some of you people come to church, but let me tell you something, brothers and sisters. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
You let me receive new things.
Amen.
What I've not done before.
Yes.
See what I'm doing it. I did something that I've never done before myself and my wife 3 weeks ago. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
And I tell you, I'm not going to tell you now. This job is like praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
Our daughter will be praying for certain things on one of our daughters. Our son, he did not apply for a job because he got a job. He was coming home, his phone rang, and he said, oh, we saw you wrestling online. We would like to talk to you. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Little young boy, come and see the offer. I said, son, give God praise. But God spoke to us, we did what we have never done before.
Yes.
If my testimony is true, I'll just share with you right now. What God did in our lives. I'm not here to cajole you about God. I'm not here, brothers and sisters, to tell you lies about God. God did it. I have testimony. What myself, my wife couldn't have achieved. We did to wish for our children.
Amen.
Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
The grace to start doing things that I've never done before. Amen. So that you can see the greatness of God. May God give it to you now in the name of Jesus. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
New Testament. God says do this in the New Testament. He said the same thing in the New Testament. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
The last but not the least is faith. What did I say?
Faith.
No matter how or what you have done in the house of God, if you don't have faith, nothing is going to happen. Faith. Say faith.
Faith.
Say it again.
Faith.
But without faith, it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently what? Seek him. If you want God to answer your prayer, then live a godly life. Psalm 24 verse 3 to 4. You can read that when you get home. Brothers and sisters, 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 verse 24. The Bible said, faith is he that calls you, who also will what? Do it. 2 Timothy chapter 3 verse 17. For thus said the Lord, ye shall not see wind, neither shall ye see rain. Ye, and yet the valley shall be filled with water, that ye may drink, but ye and your cattle and your pigs. Brothers and sisters, God does not need or rely on what is physical to make you great. Hello, church? Maybe you don't get that. I want you to let it sink into you. God does not need anything physical to make you great. Hallelujah. When God says you are blessed, he will bring something into your life to make you blessed. Amen. As long as you begin to listen to his instruction. God says, I'm taking my people to the promised land. God says, do you want to tell me that God did not know that Red Sea was right where he chose for them? Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. When he packed everything and it's let go. All of a sudden, boom, they got to the Red Sea and they thought it was over. They thought God was so stupid.
Oh no.
God is a perfect God.
Yes.
What you are going through today, brothers and sisters, don't look at it as anything unique. Before God is not. God has seen your situation. God has seen the problem before he asks you to go there. If you are going according to his instructions, the Red Sea will try before you.
Amen.
In the wilderness, he will give you manna.
Amen.
Where there's no water, water will come out of the rock.
Amen.
He's still the same God.
Oh, yes.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
That's why I say God does not need any physical things to make him great. Amen. When he says you are great, brothers and sisters, you believe it,
yes,
and you have faith in it. You might be walking on the stand up. You might be walking on the street. Somebody will just park his car. Amen. Say, oh, young man, come. God sent it to you.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
I'm looking for a honest person to award contract. Amen. God says you. Maybe you don't even have idea of how to build a house. So don't worry. Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
After the right day, somebody you never met. That is God.
Amen. Hallelujah.
Oh, where am I going to? Now, when God has spoken, you have said that man, you can't be looking for bricklayers. Amen. How do we do this? Maybe your wife will help you. Amen. Tap your legs. Look for this and that. You build one house. Amen. Even that house is nothing compared to what I have built. Wow! What a great building. You know what? I'm taking you to Australia. Amen. You want this? That's the portion of Jesus.
I believe in your word, Lord. I believe your word is powerful.
Holy Ghost, He is in the hole. What you have never seen before. You are the Lord of Lords. You are the King of Kings. You are the Messiah. Oh my Father, in this house, in Jesus' name, I pray. Before I hand over the microphone to the man of God, now we pray for you before that too. Look at me. Is there anyone here? Don't be shy. Is there anything you think God cannot do? No. Don't look at anybody. No. If you know in your heart that this thing, Pastor, I think.
I don't believe.
Don't try. God wants to do something.
Amen.
Is there anyone like that? All right. So you won't believe?
Yes.
Say Lord.
Lord.
On what particular situation? I don't know what it is. Because if we have to go to administration here, we might be, I'm feeling the anointing. We might be here for the next 1 hour. Amen. That particular situation. Say, Lord, I want a change.
I want a change. I want a change.
Do you believe God? Yes. You told me you believe? Yes, sir. You told me you believe? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What is it? I want to declare the change. Declare the change. Right? What is the situation in your life? Mori barekete bobos. Ilazanda kuriase. Ajamba kende bobos. Ilazako ikaramos. Robo bobo. Ilazanda koremos. Marini kaori sebemos. Lord di parabos. Ilazando koria. You are God. Ili kaori sebeke. You are God. Ebori karamos. You are God. Maori kaori si. Ilizantaremos. Mashira kaori sebemos. Ikarabobos. Ilizandaramos. Ilazanamos. Eremos. Let there be a change. 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 Let there be a change upon your lives, your careers, your destinies, on your children, husband and wife, the money carabos, on their finances. Let there be a change. In Jesus' name, we are praying. Please put your hand on your head. Brothers and sisters, this is not pride, but I pray. Yes. And when I pray, God hears. Amen. It's just knowing who I am in the Lord. Yes. Amen. When I pray for you, God will answer. Amen. Why? Because God says, the word of the Lord says that God honor the word of his prophet. Yes. In the name of Jesus. Amen.
God has already cancelled and destroyed all the power of struggling. You will continue to go on. Every disappointment in your life is turned into appointments. Appointments. I say in the name of Jesus Christ, you will give testimony. As Pastor and Pastor Mrs. Afere has given testimony today, you will give testimony. Testimony over your children. Testimony over your job. Testimony over your life. Testimony over everything concerning you. God will give you rest in all levels, in all areas of your life. I say God Almighty will give you rest. God Almighty will make a way for you. You will never lack anymore. Everywhere that it's paining, you find difficulties becoming easy. I say it's becoming easy. The glory of the Lord will be seen in you. The light of the Lord will shine upon you, and you will never remain the same. In the name of our Lord Jesus Christ, we pray.
Type to the same number. It will tell you offering is 0, building fund is B. So if you type, let's assume that you want to type $100 tithe. You put 100T. So that is tithe. So if you want to pay multiple fund, you put $100, let's say $100 tithe, $50 offering, and $20 building fund. You can join everything together by typing.
This is our system. The plus is a plus sign. It's not a plus like.
No, it's the plus sign.
Plus sign, yeah, plus sign.
Like
You know,
a cross,
plus, like a cross, plus sign. So it just like if you want to register, if you want to, you can pay. You don't have to. A lot of people, some people they don't have credit card. You can still pay with your check. You know, people instead of you writing check, once you put the number, the routing number, and your account number into the system only one time.
Team, and I'm sure that he's going to be handing over some information, flyers or something of that nature to help everyone understand what he is talking about. So at this time, because we are really running out of time, but there's no running out of time in the presence of the Lord. If you are here for a purpose, if you are here to meet your Lord, not to meet me or to meet my pastor or Pastor Mrs., if you're here to meet your Lord, you shouldn't be present for time, unless if you have to be at work one way or the other. So at this time, we have so many things that we have lined up for brothers and sisters here this afternoon. But due to time constraint, we're going to try to narrow it down and do things as fast as possible. So I will, at this time, call on Ms. Ifeoma Ejezie, who is an attorney from Ejezie law firm out of New Jersey and also in New York, in which I'm a partner. And we will be doing the short immigration presentation. And after that, we also will invite our doctor to tell us some things about our health. First and foremost, education is very important. Being in the house of the Lord doesn't mean we don't have to pay attention to some of the things that is happening around us. We know, of course, God is a good God and the creator of heaven and earth. We believe that Donald Trump is there today simply because he wants him to be there. It doesn't matter what anybody says. It's what God says that trumps. That's why Trump is there. So let's just accept what we have for now and try to live with it. But I urge every one of us to play with our intelligence. Be diligent in what we do. Because the Bible says so. Not because I said so. Because the Bible says so. It said, my people perish because... Where is that in the Bible? Is that John 3:16?
No.
I know, yes. Hosea 4:6. Thank you very much, man. I'm just checking. So, I'm going to call on Attorney Ifeoma Ejezie to come up here and give us a very short, we're going to be very brief because there is no time. Maybe, I know she prepared for about an hour seminar. But unfortunately, we're not having that. Maybe she'll be lucky if we have 20 minutes so that we can have our doctor on the podium as well to talk to us about this. You can go up here, Ms. Ejezie, and let's do this together. Just for the information, Ms. Ejezie is my partner. We work together as a legal expert and analyst. She's an attorney, and she might look the way she looks, but she's been in practice for over 14 years with an office in New York and New Jersey. And she's by 3 different states. And what else can I say? I can't tell you how many cases that God has, done through this law firm. Most of those Jewish attorneys and the white attorneys end up returning their file to our own office to work on. That should tell you a lot what God is doing in our office and in our law firm. So let's listen and benefit from what we're about to share with brothers and sisters today. And we're going to be brief, quick. More information, you will have to come to the office or call us on the phone and we'll be able to go further due to time. So I'll give you this mic, go and get another one. Start, Mr.
Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. Thank you everyone for being here, and thank you Mountain of Redemption Ministries, pastors and Pastor Mrs. Oyeshile. Thank you for inviting us to present this immigration seminar. We know a lot has been going on. Right information, wrong information, people are scared. But what I can say to that today is that there's nothing God cannot do. Yes. We should all calm down. There's a reason why God put Donald Trump there. So, and I know by the end of the day we will find out. So I tell people not to worry because during the time of Ronald Reagan, everybody was scared. But at the end of the day, Ronald Reagan was able to give amnesty, and a lot of people were able to get their permanent residence, which we call green card. So today, we're going to talk about different kinds of immigration laws and what is going on and petition and stuff like that. We're going to talk about I-130 petition, which your spouse can file for you. You know, it normally takes about, you know, it can be approved as fast as 3 months or, you know, 1 year, depending if you're a U.S. citizen or you're a green card holder. It depends. So your spouse can file for you, and also your parent can file for their children. The children under 18 years old, 18 and under, they normally go faster. Children above that, it takes a while. And also, children over 21 years old, U.S. citizens can file for their parents. We also have what we call fiancé visa, K1, K2 visa. In addition, we have something that some people don't know. For instance, if you're married to someone and you're experiencing abuse in your marriage and they don't want to file for you, we have what we call VAWA petition that you can file for yourself. We do that in our office.
Yes. We on that VAWA petition, personally I consider it's one of the simplest way of navigating your way through immigration, whether you're a male or female. As far as you're married to someone that's a U.S. citizen or green card holder, you are actually entitled to file for VAWA petition. It might take between a period of, the fastest we did was about 8 months. Was the fastest one we ever processed. It could go as long as maybe a year and a half, 2 years. It depends. When you have every necessary thing that is required and you present it, it will go faster. I'll tell you this, believe me or not, immigration is not difficult. It's not. But it's very, very, very complex. If you write your T and don't cross it, it's a failure to immigration. So you don't just jump. When you do it right, you will be surprised. People can earn a green card in this country within 4 months. It has happened before, if you do the right thing. So don't be too smart and be too wise for yourself to try to play with immigration simply because you don't want to pay the fee. I think if you give it to the proper person, it will save you headache. We've seen a lot of people spend thousands of dollars trying to regularize their status or their situation in the United States. But at the end of all, they fall victims to things that are not properly done or inexperienced attorneys that handle their case. But without God, things are getting better.
Yeah. Also, for this kind of petition, if you enter the country, maybe you came with somebody else's name or you cross the border, they waive that, you know. So they really have, they really pity this kind of people and they have mercy upon them.
A lot of their ways.
So which, if you file regular I-130, you will not
get those
receive. We also have another one, another I-360. You know, I-360 is a form, but it has different kinds of things going on there. You have people that are widow, maybe they are married, their spouse didn't get to file for them, and the spouse died. You know, they can still file petition. And we have what we call U visa. U visa.
Before we go into that, I will add to that I-130 as well. It's as well good for religious workers. 360 that we talk about is good for widows, somebody lost husband or spouse anyway. It's also good for people who have been a victim of abuse by their spouse, male or female, and also good for people who are religious workers, people who work in the house of the Lord. As far as this application, it's petitioned for before the expiration of your visa. There's a whole lot of things that comes with that. The 360 by itself make life easier because things that you would not normally go through with other petition, they waive that with 360. It's a very sympathetic application. It's more geared towards the person, and you don't have those baggage of having to have your spouse or somebody to be with you at the interview date. Most of this application under 360, you do the interview yourself, as compared to when you do adjustment of status, where husband and wife is required to go through the interview. Sometimes the chances of failure is very high if they don't really understand each other. But when it comes to 360, it's you, God, and the adjudicator. Very good checks.
Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
Okay, so it requires a lot of documentation, but we're not going to go into that. The next one is U visa. U visa is when you're a victim of crime. For instance, somebody like robbery or attack, and you were able to identify that person. The government, cooperating with the government, they can sign off. It's difficult, but I've done it.
Yeah.
Be able to get the government to sign off on that petition, you can get a green card through them. We did it for somebody, and he was able to even bring the 2 children here with work permit. With that one, once they approve it after 3 years, you can file for your green card. We also have T visa, which we call the snitch. You cooperate with the government.
Government against someone
yes, and you snitch on the government.
No, on the.
You snitch on the
on whoever. Snitch. The T visa means you see somebody committing a crime, vandalizing, whatever, trying to perpetrate some fraud or something like that, and you bring it to the attention of the government, and the government were able to apprehend that person and prosecute that person, and you become a witness in that case. Yes, if you are not documented, there's opportunity for you to be able to get documented, because you have assisted the government in bringing that person to justice for that reason, so you have a way pass. And the same thing like the U visa, you're working at night and somebody run upon you and rob you, and they were able to apprehend that person and you testify against that person. Yes, all these things give you opportunity to be able to stay in the country. There's a whole lot of things that a lot of people don't know, other than a few things.
But you must be able to get the government, the police department, or the
you have to
sign off on it.
You have to assist.
So that's where the difficulty is on that one.
Wow.
We have employment-based petition, which when you have an employer file for you, in order for that to happen, your visa must be current. Your visa must be current, and before your visa expires, you need to leave the country and come back until it's approved, because you don't want your visa to expire. Once it's expired, you cannot adjust status in the United States. So it requires a lot of documentation from the employer to show they will be able to pay you, they can advertise the job and nobody else, is a specialist. But even at that, even people that does babysitting job and cleaning and all that, people they take advantage of it. People like from the Caribbean areas and people from the Spanish Brazilian, they took advantage of it. That's what I noticed. My people, we tend to do...
The Africans don't do more of those things, but the Caribbeans, for example, the Jamaicans, they are masters in that, because a lot of them get visas just to come to the United States to be a babysitter, to be a house cleaner, and if your boss, your employer likes you or what you do, they can definitely petition for you as an employer visa, and you'll be able to get basically what you petition for. It's a very good opportunity.
Yeah, I have a friend that went to school here studying engineering, and he was like, I'm not just going to get married for paper. And he believed God that after graduating with a degree, BA in engineering or BS, I don't know, the bachelor's degree in engineering, he was able to get a job in an engineering corporation, and they filed for him. It takes a while, but today he's a green card holder with a wife he brought from Nigeria and everything, so they are fine. Those are the things people don't know. Now we're going to move into adjustment of status. You want to talk about
yes. Okay, adjustment of status. There's 2 classes of adjustment of status. There is adjustment of status for someone who is married to a U.S. citizen or married to a green card holder, which take longer. Married to a U.S. citizen, the visa becomes available immediately. But if you're married to a green card holder, it takes a while. You have to wait in the queue until it gets to your turn to be able to adjust status. But there's also something that is called 245I. It's commonly known as the grandfather adjustment of status, which means when you come into the country illegally, and as far as somebody has filed for you,
like you cross the border,
you cross the border, you come with somebody else's document. As far as somebody filed a petition for you before April 30th, 2001, whether somebody filed for you, whether an employer filed for you, whether they follow through with it or not, it gives you the opportunity to be able to benefit from adjustment of status as far as you can prove that you were in the country and somebody had filed for you before. You'll be able to adjust your status. As compared to these days, if you come in from the border after April 2001, April 30th, 2001, if you come into this country without a visa, you cannot adjust your status. If you married to a U.S. citizen, you cannot do it.
Unless through abuse.
Adjustment of status, by marrying to a U.S. citizen, you cannot adjust status. But you can on one condition, and the condition is you have to seek a waiver, which is called a 601A waiver, and that, if they grant that waiver for you being in the country illegally, then you have to leave, go back to your country. But normally we recommend people go to Canada and Mexico. But the chances of you coming back in, you are God. Because you could be issued a visa. Visa only permits you to be at the point of entry. The discretion for you to enter the country is in the hands of the immigration, the border, and customs to make that decision, and nobody go against that. But there's a good chance if somebody come into the country before 2000, after 2001 without a visa, and you leave and go back, if there is no criminal record, there's nothing crazy, and you can prove that you've been a very good citizen, contributor to the society, the community, you have kids, you have family, you have your church that supports you of things you've been doing, there's a good chance that they will let you back in. But if you don't have those things in your favor, most especially if you're not paying your taxes, forget about it. But if you're paying your taxes and you're doing those things and you are granted that waiver simply means we give you permission to go out and come in. Now, you have a very good chance with the people when you're coming back in because you have things to show that you've been good, you've been okay. Of course, you enter illegally. Okay, so there's difference between those things, but that's a great opportunity.
With the 601A, since Trump came into the office, I wouldn't advise anybody to do that anymore. It was workable when Obama was in the office. So things are changing now. With the 245I, the grandfathering adjustment, you also have to be here December 21, 2000. And you have to show the petition that was filed at that time, even if it was not approved. It doesn't have to be approved, but you have to show that it was approvable when filed.
It was filed.
It was, it's approvable when filed. So now we're going to talk about fraud. Fraud, when people use people's other person's document to come in, or other person's name to come in and all that. So we have what we call 601 waiver. The 601 waiver, you have to have a U.S. citizen parent or spouse, I believe also child. Sure. And you have to show normally, if you leave the country, it's going to affect those U.S. citizens or permanent residents. For instance, if you have a mother, a parent, a father who is, has a medical condition and really depend on you, they will grant it to you. Or you have children or spouse that really need your
children that are underage.
You are the breadwinner of the family and stuff like that. They will grant it. But when people come to our office, we'll make sure that we'll try to avoid and see whether there's in any way we can avoid it. Yeah. If not, we just have to go for the 601 waiver. I tell people you have to be consistent, because the consistency is the most important thing with immigration. Whatever you put in your application, when you file for visa, you better keep it up. So
keep your information.
Keep your information.
Right. Don't flip
When
flop.
people apply for visa, what I notice sometimes they don't make copies of their documents. It's very, very important for you to make copies of what you apply.
What you have told
so
them.
When you are applying for, other applications with immigration, you can be consistent, because what happens, some people, maybe they come with a visa and they say they are married and they are not really married. And after they come, they forgot they really put in their visa, they are married, and now they file I-130, maybe they come here now, they are married. Okay, everything is fine, it's real marriage. You go there, okay. Have you ever been married? No. Okay. This is your visa application.
That you used to come into the country.
You put that you are not married. So either you prove that you lied that time, or you have to figure out how to get a divorce. So either way, you lied. Either you lied on your visa application, or you lied on the adjustment of status. So you have to be consistent, because that can mess somebody up, and that can make you spend a lot of money on attorney's fees and the court and all that. And that can the person may end up in removal proceedings, which we call deportation proceedings. We'll get to that one, actually. Yes. So you want to talk about 751?
751 is removal of condition on permanent residence. It's very important. When you come into the country, it's divided into two. Sometimes you come into the country and you get your temporary permanent residence, which means after 2 years you have to remove the condition on that residency so that you have your legitimate, valid permanent residence. There is temporary and there is permanent. So if you happen to have this temporary green card residency, make sure that you apply for the permanent resident card 90 days before the expiration. Because if you don't apply for it in a timely fashion and you let it, slip away, it is considered abandoned. You would think you still have a green card, but you don't. So if you pick it up one day and just go out of the country, that's a goodbye for you. There is no excuse. And in order for you to get that back, the process is even tougher than when you got it. We've got a lot of cases like that we have to fight tooth and nail and do all kind of stuff, even invoke medical condition, all kind of thing to revive it. But there's some people that are fortunate enough that they won't even get temporary resident card just because the application has been pending for a while. The good thing about immigration is that if they delay your paper, sometimes they count it for you. Because by the time they give you that paper, they won't count it as if you just filed. They count that time. Some people get the paper instead of getting temporary, they just get the automatic complete green card instead of temporary one. So be very, very mindful. And when you have a temporary green card, be mindful of the kind of things you do, because all these things will go against you. If you are married and after that 2 years, you decided to cut that relationship and quit the relationship, it's very harmful unless you can prove that the dissolution of the marriage is not a fault of yours. Sometimes it's very difficult to prove that. If you can prove that it's not your fault, yes. But if you cannot prove that it's not your fault, automatically immigration thinks that this marriage is fraudulent. It's sham marriage. And if immigration can prove that your marriage is sham, fraud, there is nothing you do on earth unless the grace of God that surpasses everything that can give you a green card in this country. Once immigration says your marriage is fraud, that's it. Except God does this miracle as usual. So be very, very mindful on how you do things and stay with your time to renew and to do what you need to do accordingly. You want to add to that?
Okay. Yeah, in the I-751, so we have joint removal of condition. That's when you and your spouse, you apply, you are still with your spouse. We have what we call waiver based on good faith marriage, which means you are divorced. You apply for that. Even if it's after, in that situation, even if it's after 2 years, you can still apply and give reason why you could, maybe your spouse was being difficult and stuff like that. They will consider it. We have something else, you can have 5 based on abuse spouse, that, or based on hardship. And also, there is something I wanted to say about that. Just keep my mouth about the
751?
about the
3 years.
751.
The 3 years to apply
the
for
fraud
your
or any
citizenship?
application. Yes, I remember now. You know, for me, once I go to interview and I see that the interview does
not
not
going
go
well,
I withdraw. I request from the petitioner to withdraw, because the last thing you want for them to find is fraud. Once they find fraud, that's it for you. So I tell people, whatever money cannot buy is a big problem. So you may think, okay, I spent too much money now, what do you want? Don't forget about it, you know, the money will come. If they find fraud, there's nothing that can really help you. So what I normally request, I tell the petitioner, you know what, tell them you want to withdraw the application.
And that
So
will only
once you
happen.
once you tell them right there, the decision, whatever that happened during that interview,
It's null and void.
no longer null and void.
Because
You can't use it against you.
you're under oath when you're doing your interview.
Yeah.
So when you realize that, you know, it happens a lot amongst our Nigerian brothers and sisters that we've witnessed. The stories is not consistent. They're asking the husband, well, what side of the bed do you sleep? You say, I sleep on the left side. And they're asking the wife, and the wife says, I sleep on the left side. So who's on the right side? They ask the husband, where is the key to your home? He doesn't have a key. You guys know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes.
He doesn't have a key. And your husband and wife, where is the microwave? He doesn't know. All these things happen. So when we see these things going on, our best option is to say, you know what, officer, a client is not comfortable with it, something is going on, we will withdraw the application. Because the officer will see that you're not consistent. There is something going on here. And if they say we find fraud, we find you to not be credible, it's over. It's a very tough hurdle. So instead of that to happen, cut your loss, lose the money, and withdraw the application. It's like nothing ever happened. That record is destroyed. It's not used against you. So you're in a better chance than with that. We see a lot of that. When we see that trouble coming, instead of them to say, we don't find it credible, we think your application is fraud, we pull it out. So we're still good.
Okay, so the next one is preparation for naturalization exam, which is citizenship.
Yeah.
So when you're preparing for citizenship, if you're married 3 years, you know, once you get your green card, 3 years, once you get your green card, 3 years, from that time you can file. 90 days before that 3 years, you can file for your citizenship. Yes. And if divorced, 5 years. And 90 days before 5 years, you can file for your citizenship. And if you got your green card through abuse, whether divorced or not, you can file for your citizenship in 3 years. But if you remarry, it's 5 years. And you know, so you need to study the booklet that's given to you when you go for fingerprint, and that's when they're going to give you the booklet to study for citizenship. And like I said, make sure whatever you put in your green card application, make sure it's consistent with the citizenship application. Some people who they don't have children, green card, and then by the time they go into citizenship, children start coming up and all that. Those kind of things can bring problems. Make sure you pay your taxes, avoid criminal convictions.
Yes.
Yeah, avoid criminal convictions. You know, pay your child support and alimony if you have one. And whether you are unemployed or not, it doesn't really matter. But you know, do not stay out of the country more than 180 days.
6 months.
Yeah, sometimes it can be 6 months. They count days. You can do it 6 months, and if it's like 1 day after, is a problem. So it can be exactly 180 days.
So if you have your green card, just try to, if you want to stay out of the country, don't let it be more than 180 days counting, because you could face any consequences, and we don't want to do that. And I am also quickly going to say that for the green card holder, if you get your green card,
Child can
automatically
be
a U.S. citizen as far as
Yes.
it's under 18 when you became a citizen.
Yes. And immigration consequences of criminal conviction by non-U.S. citizens. You want to?
Very important. Immigration consequences, criminal conviction for immigration consequences is very, very important. It doesn't matter how long you've been living in this country. We have clients that have been in this country for 40 years, 50 years, that are not U.S. citizens, that are not even a green card holder, but they happen to acquire a green card maybe in the last 1 year or 2 years, and all of a sudden they jump turnstile, not paying the train, you know, some crazy little stuff like that. It's not advisable. And if you know you got your green card or you're about to apply for green card, make sure you consult with an attorney and let them know exactly what is going on with you. Before you put your application in, make sure the coast is clear for you, because all this thing will be what they will come back to look into, and it can affect you from being able to be a citizen. So stay away from any trouble that is uncalled for. We have advised our clients that, sometimes when people have criminal problems, they consult with us to make sure that when they are pleading guilty, this country conviction is always secure by pleading guilty. Nobody really get a fair chance to whatever. So 9 out of 10 times you do something, they come to you with a plea deal. And one of the plea deal is very sweet sometimes. When they read the law book to you, maybe you go to jail for 3 years, 4 years, or 5 years. But they throw you a plea deal to say that, okay, we give you a plea deal, probation, or conditional discharge, and all those things. But that conviction itself, it's considered aggravated. It will stop your immigration. It will stop you from getting your paper. But you are free to go without doing jail time. Sometimes we look at the conviction, or we look at the deal they were offering. We will advise our client to go to jail. Do the time. When you do the time for that crime, you still have the opportunity come out and get your green card. As compared to not going at all, and you're not getting your paper. You end up getting deported. So you have to look at it. When you have any criminal matter, please consult with an attorney and find out the detail before you
Immigration attorney, you have to.
Immigration attorney.
Somebody that has special,
Criminal attorney, their priority is not to get you a jail time. They don't care what you're pleading to. You might be pleading to murder, but they'll say you're not going to go to jail. But that's not good for you. The mother will not give you a paper at the end of all. What? So it's better sometimes you do the time so that you can still get your paper.
Yeah.
Okay?
So
A cousin, they're going to they buried him today. But he married a young girl. The girl was brought to the US with another person's passport, and she's been here maybe since she was young, and she doesn't have a paper. I think she met my cousin and they got married. And
your cousin now is late.
It's late.
You want to answer the question, or you want me to go? No, we got your case.
Okay.
The question is that the young woman married this man that is now late. Period.
Yeah.
She's a widow.
She's a widow now.
That's a solution.
He
to
has papers.
does the man have a paper?
He has all this.
The man is a citizen,
Yeah.
but they are legally married.
Legally
She can get a paper. End of story. Next.
Yes. My question is, these days a lot of people are hold at the airport at GFK. They are from Nigerians. About in December, I had a case like that. We called like 3-4 lawyers. They said there's nothing they could do. Eventually, the person got repatriated back to Nigeria. All this lawyers, what they said then was there's nothing they could do. My question now is there anything they could have done to save him from that repatriation or not?
Do you want to take that question, or you want me to go?
I will tell you, this is a secret. When your loved one is coming, you tell them if they have to say they need asylum, they have fear of going back to their country. But the lawyer cannot go and tell them that at that time. Right. So they need to know that once they say they have fear of going back to their country, they cannot, they just hold them and put them in removal proceedings. So we'll take it from there.
They might lock them up.
Yeah.
For some days.
They're going to lock them up. They will
but at least they're not going to return them.
Yeah.
Then we can come in. Lawyers can come in.
At what position are they going to declare of that fear? Is it after the arrest or?
I mean, they're coming in, right? The question is they were coming in.
Yes, they were
so
coming in.
once they know that they're about to be repatriated because they don't want to let them in, they just say, I can't go back. I can't go to my country. That's one avenue. But, I work with some of these politicians from New York State and also in New Jersey. When those things were going on, my friend that's supposed to be the next governor of New Jersey, we had a team of people that were at the airport. If your people is coming in and you contact, one of the attorney would be at the airport waiting for them in case something like that happened. But the best solution is for them to say, I can't go back. I'm afraid for my life. That's it. It gives the attorney the opportunity to come in, but the attorney cannot tell the person what to do against the attorney. Next question, anybody? Are we good? Yes.
how long it takes for married children to fight for their papers?
I didn't get that.
Married children that are married.
Fight for children that are married.
Okay.
How many?
She says citizen wants to fight for children that are already married.
Okay.
How many?
How long?
Like how long?
You want to take that or you want me to take that? The marriage, if you're, of course, married children are considered people that are over 21 years of age.
Yes.
So they are not a priority. It will take as long as the waiting list, according to the Department of State, 7 years, 8 years, or whatever, because they're not. 7 years and better.
But what I tell people, I said, don't be discouraged. Always fight that paper.
Just fire it.
Because by the time you know, you say, oh, 8 years, 8 years. By the time you know, 8 years is gone.
Yes.
So just do it and
Do it.
let it be in the system.
Yeah. Okay.
And this long-term damage is serious. It disrupts organs. It causes a lot of damages to her. Next slide, please. Next one. So we have the package in our folders. So I'm going to just run quickly so that when you get home, you can look at the package and then you know. So next slide. Then I'm going to see if we could. These are the effects of the diabetes that can cause. Like you have this effect of blood effusion, vomiting, polyuria, people pee a lot and all that. So next. What we have is the signs and symptoms of diabetes is a lot of this, but I just put a little bit here. When people get lost, that people will be losing weight.
But if you're a doctor, he's not looking at you in the whole picture. So now when something happens to you, he's like, oh, it came out of nowhere. Oh, wow, well, you're older. It's okay. But really what's happening is he has a low standard for your health because you're not aware of what's really happening. That's like the food. In the whole food, that's why they pay so much money, because they know you are not aware of what's really happening to the food. Just like she said, it's the equivalent of someone being in McDonald's stepping on your food. The way they process your food, what they decide to put into your food. Like, if you know that you're eating white rice, you can't eat white rice. Like, I know it's hard, because you say, like, portion control. But like she said, carbohydrates, especially from this country, should not be on your plate, because it's not processed well. It's stripped of all the nutrients, then they dump it on top. But then once you wash the rice, you've washed away the nutrients. So what are you eating? You're not eating anything. And they're waiting for you, because it's a process. So the more aware you are on where your food comes from, how they processed it, how long has it been processed, what's going on, then most likely you'll start to see, like, hey, this is not good for me. When you're in your 20s, you can shake it off. When you're in your 30s, you start to feel it a little, but you say, I'm getting older. 40, 45, a lot of people are teetering. 60, you see it. How many men you see living past 65? You don't. And that's a low standard. So just to be aware. So instead of just kind of say negative things, what you can eat, like she said, vegetables are very good. Depending on how green they are. If they give you salad, and your salad is not green, it's mostly white, it's not a salad. Okay, because the nutrients are in the green. All right? If there's no green, then it's like, what are you eating? Right? Then now, if you're making your soup, what type of oil are you using? I know time, I'm sorry, but what type of, because I know an issue came up saying that you tell me what I cannot eat. Tell me what I can, right? So if you want to know, then that's something that we can definitely talk about at another time. You know, how to put it, what to put on your plate, and where to go to get it, because they don't advertise it to you. That's all. Thank you.
Okay.
Prayer line and also the physical mountain of redemption. Amen. Because the prayer line is the parent of the physical mountain of redemption.
Hallelujah.
So just want to say, thank God for your life. And thank God for you being here. It has been so wonderful today. And we are all blessed. So we appreciate you. We love you with the love of Christ. God bless you.
I can't end this without mentioning this. Pastor Grace Jegede,
Yes.
we thank you.
She's a pioneer. We started the prayer line together, and our mother here. It was started with 3 people about 10 years ago, and we run with the vision, and God has been so wonderful and be faithful to us. So she's my dear friend. She's my sister in the Lord. We have been together for 27 years.
Moving forward. I know we've been here for since midday. The next 5 minutes is not going to be too much. I cannot end this without mentioning the next person. This individual, I met him, like I always say in my profession, people are looking. Be careful what you do. People are watching. I don't have much interaction with him, but he was watching. So as soon as I told him about this ministry, he jumped on it with full support. Trust me, support is not money, or only money. Time, word of advice, phone call, how's everything is going, is more than money sometimes. Praise God, somebody. Of that, I just want you to support me, help me to welcome Pastor Prophetess and Pastor Mrs. Olak Adebisi Olak. Praise God. Praise God. Praise God. In addition to being a pastor here, there's another assignment that I, ministry-wide, which, I minister. I was just on the phone one day, and the phone rang. And the young lady said, the young lady in the house, the youngest lady in this house today said, you know what? You're going to be the leader of this ministry. Amen. And from that day on, up to this moment, with the grace of God, the name of the ministry is Mount Canaan Church of Christ. So I do that in addition to this too. And the youngest lady that make it happen is our mother. I cannot, if I have to say, because one thing about me, I appreciate people.
Yes.
Look, if I say we want to be here 12 to 6, and I'm the only one here, speaking to the chair. I mean, so you took your time. I mean, you have other things to do.
Yes.
Trust me, you have other things to do. But you make it, I will be there. Even though you come to worship, to receive salvation, to receive blessing, those are not instant gratification. Trust me. So therefore, I appreciate you for being here. Even if you spend 1 minute, I appreciate you. And the Lord be with you.
Yes, before I close up, also, we know that we have a lot of people that came and left because they have commitment. As my pastor rightly said, we really appreciate you guys and we thank you so much for your support and donation. I have other friends of mine that just came in last minute. 5 of them came in because they've got other commitments. I know they're extremely busy, but I am thrilled and moved when they came in at the last minute and they came in and said, listen, we came despite our busy schedule. One of them is seated back there. He said, this is for the church.
Hallelujah!
This is a big blessing. Thank God for that. I would like to, acknowledge you, Mr. What is my friend's name for that? Mr. Mike, thank you so much for coming here. Good luck with you. Bless you. And this will be a fulfillment between you and God, and let it be a covenant. We thank you so much for being here.
And we have the next chairman of Chagamu local government.
Amen.
Where's it? Where's it? Where's it? I got to sit down. President, come on. You are welcome. My president, two of them are president, and former president and current president. They are in the house. You are all welcome. Everybody is welcome. Everybody. I'll mention your name. People from Atlanta. People from is Atlanta the same as Georgia? Is the same? Are you sure? So people from Maryland, the Dr. Chinaye, everybody, appreciated.
Praise the Lord. I have my families here too, and I appreciate them for coming. I have my best friend, my twin sister. She's always supportive. And I know she's a member, but she's very dear to my heart. I love you. God bless you.
Amen. There's something in the program that we don't have time to do, but if you want to do it, please, you can stay behind. So it's hair ties. If you want to know how to do hair ties, the young lady came all the way from Georgia to see us.
They are in their house, they are in the labor room. All the believers that they are calling the name of God Almighty for one thing or the other, for God to open heaven and release their blessing and grant them their heart desire. Use your coming here today as a covenant between you and God. Say, by next year, God, I want you to increase me financially, physically, spiritually. Let me be able to do more than what I performed this year. Let my life fill with your grace. May the Lord answer all your prayer.
Amen.
And grant you all your desire.
Amen.
May the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ,
Amen.
the love of God,
Amen.
and the fellowship of Holy Spirit,
Amen.
abide with everyone that are here.
Amen.
Success is your portion.
Amen.
In the mighty name of Jesus, God will grant you your heart desire.
Amen.
In Jesus' mighty name we pray.
Amen. 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 Jesus.